Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Now listen carefully. What if happiness is not something you wait for? What if happiness is not luck? What if happiness is a skill, just like speaking English, and anyone, including you, can learn it? This story is not about rich people. It is not about perfect lives. It is about ordinary people, with ordinary problems, who learn one powerful truth. Happiness is trained, not found. So listen till the end. Because by listening to this story, you are not only improving your English, you are training your mind. The quiet morning. The sun was rising slowly. Soft golden light entered a small room through a half-open window. Birds were singing outside. The world was waking up. But inside the room, Daniel was already awake. Daniel was 35 years old. He lived a simple life. He had a small apartment, a small job, and very big thoughts. He sat on the edge of his bed, looking at the floor. His phone was in his hand. No new messages. No good news. Just silence. Daniel sighed. He whispered to himself, "Why am I not happy?" This question had followed him for years. He had tried many things. Working harder. Earning more money. Buying new things. Making new plans. But happiness never stayed. It came for a moment. And then disappeared. Just like a shadow. A common mistake. Daniel believed something very common. He believed, when my life becomes perfect, then I will be happy. He believed happiness was a reward, not a skill. Many people think the same way. They say, when I get a better job, I'll be happy. When I learn English fluently, I'll be happy. When people respect me, I'll be happy. But happiness does not work like that. Daniel didn't know this yet. The old man at the cafe. Later that morning, Daniel went to a small cafe near his house. He went there every day. Same place. Same table. Same coffee. But this morning was different. An old man was sitting at Daniel's usual table. The old man smiled warmly and said, "Good morning. Please, join me." Daniel hesitated, but then sat down. The old man looked calm. Peaceful. Happy. Not loud happiness. Quiet happiness. The kind that feels strong. Daniel asked politely, "Sir, can I ask you something?" The old man nodded. Daniel said, "You look happy." "How?" The old man laughed softly. "That's a good English question," he said. "The first lesson, simple English." The old man leaned forward and spoke slowly. Most people think happiness is a feeling. But happiness is actually a skill. Daniel frowned. "A skill?" he asked. "Yes," the old man said. "Like speaking English. Like riding a bicycle. At first, it feels difficult. You make mistakes. You feel uncomfortable. But if you practice daily, your brain changes." Daniel listened carefully. The old man continued. "You don't wait to be happy. You train yourself to be happy." Why this story helps your English. Now listen carefully. When you hear English again and again, your brain starts understanding without translating. This story is not fast. It is calm. It is clear. Just like happiness training. Daniel's confusion. Daniel asked, "But my life is not good. How can I be happy?" The old man smiled. "Your life doesn't need to change first," he said. "Your thinking does." He took a sip of his tea. Happiness is not about having more. It is about training your attention. Daniel didn't fully understand. But something inside him felt lighter. The first exercise, for listener and character. The old man said, "Tomorrow morning, before checking your phone, sit quietly for 2 minutes. Notice 3 things. 1 sound. 1 breath. 1 good thing in your life. That's it." Daniel looked surprised. "That's happiness training?" he asked. The old man nodded. Simple does not mean weak. Gentle call to listener. Now pause for a second. Take a breath. You are learning English right now. You are training your mind right now. And in the next part, Daniel will begin his first real happiness practice. And you will practice with him. A quiet beginning. The next morning arrived softly. No loud noise. No sudden change. Just another normal day. But inside Daniel, something was different. For the first time in many years, he did not touch his phone when he woke up. His hand moved toward it, then stopped. He remembered the old man's words. Before checking your phone, sit quietly for 2 minutes. 2 minutes felt small, almost meaningless. But Daniel decided to try. 2 minutes of silence. He sat on the edge of his bed. The room was still. The air was cool. The world felt slow. At first, his mind was noisy. Thoughts came quickly. I have work. I am tired. This is useless. Nothing will change. He wanted to stand up. He wanted to quit. But he stayed. 1 minute passed. Then, something gentle happened. He heard a sound he never noticed before. A bird. Very soft. Very peaceful. He took a slow breath. In. And out. For the first time, he was not running inside his head. Finding one good thing. Now Daniel remembered the third step. Find one good thing in your life. This felt difficult. His brain searched for problems first. Bills. Stress. Loneliness. Old disappointments. But he forced himself to continue looking. Then he found something small. Very small. He had a warm bed. He had a safe room. He had another day to try again. Not perfect things, but real things. And suddenly, his chest felt lighter. Not big happiness. Just a tiny space of peace. But this time, the peace stayed a little longer. Why small steps matter. Many people wait for big happiness. Big success. Big money. Big celebration. But the brain does not learn from big moments. The brain learns from daily repetition. Just like English. You don't become fluent in one day. You become fluent by listening every day. Happiness works the same way. Small practice. Every day. Slow change. Real result. Daniel goes to work. Daniel walked to work that morning. The street looked normal. Cars. People. Noise. Movement. Nothing magical. But Daniel noticed something surprising. His thoughts were slower. Usually, his mind jumped quickly. From worry to worry. Today, there was space between thoughts. Like clouds moving slowly in the sky. He was not fully happy. But he was not fully heavy either. And this was new. The negative voice. At work, something familiar returned. His inner voice. The voice that said, "You are behind in life. Others are doing better. Nothing will change. Why even try?" This voice was old. Very old. It had lived inside Daniel for years. And usually, he believed it. But today, he remembered something the old man said quietly before leaving. You don't have to believe every thought you hear. A powerful realization. Daniel stopped working for a moment. He asked himself a strange question. What if this voice is not the truth, but only a habit? This idea felt shocking. Because if the voice was only a habit, then maybe it could be changed. And if thoughts could change, maybe feelings could change too. And if feelings could change, maybe happiness was truly a skill. The second meeting at the cafe. That evening, Daniel returned to the cafe. The old man was there again. Same calm smile. Same peaceful eyes. Daniel sat down quickly and said, "I tried the 2 minutes." The old man nodded slowly. And, he asked. Daniel thought carefully. Nothing big happened. But something felt quieter. The old man smiled wider. That is how real change begins, he said. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just quiet improvement. The brain learns what you repeat. The old man drew a small line on a paper napkin. This, he said, is a path in your brain. When you repeat a thought every day, the path becomes stronger. Negative thoughts repeated for years become automatic sadness. But calm thoughts repeated daily become natural peace. Daniel listened deeply. So I can train my brain, he asked. Yes, the old man replied softly. Every human can. The second exercise. The old man gave Daniel another simple task. Tonight, before sleeping, write 3 small good moments from your day. Not big success. Just small truth. Examples. A kind word. A good meal. A quiet breath. A finished task. A moment of rest. Your brain must learn to see light again. The old man said gently. Why many people stay unhappy? Daniel asked an important question. If happiness is learnable, why are so many people unhappy? The old man became very quiet. Then he answered slowly. Because training the mind is simple, but not easy. People prefer distraction instead of practice. Phones are easier than silence. Complaints are easier than gratitude. Dreaming is easier than changing. Daniel felt this truth deeply, because he saw himself in those words. A new feeling appears. That night, Daniel lay in bed. Normally, his nights were full of worry. But tonight, he opened a small notebook. He wrote slowly. 1. I heard a peaceful bird in the morning. 2. I finished my work calmly. 3. I spoke honestly with the old man. He looked at the list. Nothing special. But something warm moved inside his chest. A quiet sentence appeared in his mind. Maybe my life is not empty. Maybe I just never looked carefully. And for the first time in many months, Daniel slept without heavy thoughts. A morning that felt different. Daniel woke up before the alarm. This was unusual. Normally, mornings felt heavy, like carrying an invisible stone on his chest. But today, the stone felt lighter. Not gone. Just lighter. He sat quietly for 2 minutes again. Just like the old man taught him. Breathing in. Breathing out. The silence was no longer uncomfortable. It felt friendly. Like meeting a calm stranger who slowly becomes a friend. The Notebook of Small Joys. Before leaving for work, Daniel opened his notebook again. He read the 3 small good moments he had written the night before. Nothing big. Nothing impressive. But something surprising happened. When he read them again, his mind created the same warm feeling. That is when Daniel understood something new. The brain remembers feelings when we give attention to them. If we repeat sadness, the brain learns sadness. If we repeat gratitude, the brain learns peace. This was simple, but powerful. The world outside and inside. On the way to work, Daniel noticed people around him. Everyone looked busy, serious, lost in thought. Some were scrolling phones. Some were arguing. Some looked tired even in the morning. Suddenly Daniel wondered, are they also searching for happiness, but looking in the wrong place? Because for many years, he had searched outside too. More money, more success, more approval, more recognition. But none of it stayed long. Happiness came and quickly disappeared, like writing on water. The meeting at the cafe continues. That evening, Daniel returned to the cafe again. The old man was already there, sitting quietly, as if he had nowhere else to rush. Daniel smiled for the first time, without forcing it. The old man noticed immediately. You practiced, he said softly. Daniel nodded. Yes, and something feels different. But I don't understand why. The old man leaned forward slightly. Today, he said, I will tell you about the hidden thief of happiness. The thief nobody sees. Daniel listened carefully. The old man spoke slowly. The biggest thief of happiness is comparison. Daniel felt those words deeply. Because comparison was everywhere. On social media. At work. In family conversations. In childhood memories. Someone always looked richer, smarter, happier, more successful. And every comparison quietly whispered one message. You are not enough. Why comparison hurts the mind? The old man continued. When you compare your life to someone else's highlight, you create false pain. Because you don't see their fears. You don't see their loneliness. You don't see their struggles at night. You only see the smile they show the world. Daniel remembered how many times he felt small just by scrolling his phone. Perfect vacations. Perfect jobs. Perfect bodies. Perfect lives. But maybe none of it was truly perfect. A dangerous habit. Comparison, the old man said gently, is a habit learned slowly. And habits feel like truth, even when they are lies. Daniel stayed silent. Because he knew how long he had lived inside that habit. Years of thinking. I am late. I am behind. Others are winning. I am losing. Those thoughts felt real. But maybe they were only repeated stories. The freedom of a new question. The old man asked Daniel something unusual. What if life is not a race? Daniel looked confused. Then what is it? He asked. The old man smiled softly. Life is a journey of growth, he said. In a journey, everyone moves at a different speed. Some walk fast. Some walk slow. Some rest. Some change direction. But no one is truly late. Because there is no final clock. A quiet shift inside Daniel. These words felt like fresh air in a closed room. For years, Daniel felt chased by time. As if life was shouting, hurry up or you will fail. But now, for the first time, he wondered, what if I am not late? I am just learning slowly? And this thought did not create pressure. It created peace. The third exercise. The old man took a pen and wrote one sentence on paper. Today I will only compare myself to the person I was yesterday. He gave the paper to Daniel. This is your next practice, he said. Small improvement. Every day. Nothing more. No perfect future. Just one better step. Daniel held the paper carefully, as if it were something valuable. Because maybe it truly was a night of honest thinking. That night, Daniel did not open social media. Instead, He sat quietly with his notebook. He asked himself one simple question. Am I a little better than yesterday? He thought carefully. Yes. He was calmer. Yes. He noticed small good moments. Yes. He felt less pressure from comparison. The change was tiny. Almost invisible. But it was real. And real change, even when small, is powerful. The beginning of self-respect. For many years, Daniel waited for others to respect him. Bosses, friends, family, society. But now he understood something new. Self-respect begins quietly. Inside daily choices. Waking calmly. Breathing slowly. Writing gratitude. Avoiding comparison. Trying again. No applause. No audience. Just honest growth. And strangely, this felt better than any outside praise. A question that changed everything. The next evening, Daniel walked to the cafe again. But today, he didn't feel lost. He felt curious. The old man was there. Same chair. Same calm posture. Daniel sat down and asked the question that had been growing inside him all day. If happiness is a skill, why do so many people never learn it? The old man smiled gently. Because, he said, they are chasing happiness instead of building it. Why chasing happiness fails? Daniel leaned closer. What do you mean? He asked. The old man explained slowly. When people say, I will be happy when I earn more, when I marry, when I move, when I succeed, when others respect me, they delay happiness. And delayed happiness, he continued, turns into frustration. Because the mind keeps moving the finish line. You reach one goal. Then happiness says, not yet. One more thing. Daniel felt this deeply. He remembered every time he said, after this job, I'll be happy. After this promotion, I'll relax. After this problem, I'll smile. But happiness never stayed. The most important lesson. The old man said something Daniel would never forget. Happiness is not a reward. It is a daily behavior. Just like fitness, he added. You don't go to the gym once and expect strong muscles forever. You train. You rest. You repeat. Happiness works the same way. The daily habits of happy people. Daniel asked quietly. So what do happy people do differently? The old man raised one finger. They don't control the world, he said. They control their response. He explained. Happy people still face problems. Still experience pain. Still fail. Still feel fear. But they don't add extra suffering. By fighting reality. They accept first. Then act calmly. Acceptance is not weakness. It is intelligence. Learning emotional control. The old man continued. When something bad happens, most people ask, why me? Why is life unfair? Why always me? These questions create anger. Happy people ask different questions, he said. They ask, what can I learn? What is in my control? What is the next small step? Same problem. Different mindset. Different result. Daniel tries it in real life. The very next day, Daniel faced a difficult situation at work. A mistake happened. Someone blamed him unfairly. Normally, his chest would tighten. His voice would shake. His anger would rise. But this time, he paused. One breath. Then another. He asked himself silently, what is in my control right now? Not the blame. Not other people. Only his response. He spoke calmly. Explained clearly. Did not attack. Did not defend emotionally. Something surprising happened. The situation softened. And even if it hadn't, Daniel still felt calm inside. That was real power. Happiness and self-respect. That evening, Daniel realized something important. Happiness is deeply connected to self-respect. When you respect yourself, you don't beg for approval. You don't chase validation. You don't compare constantly. You act with quiet confidence. And confidence attracts respect. Not loud confidence. Not fake confidence. But calm, grounded confidence. The final truth. The old man said his final lesson. With a peaceful smile. Happiness grows when you stop fighting life and start flowing with it. Pain will come. Loss will come. Change will come. But suffering is optional. Because suffering comes from resistance. The goodbye that wasn't sad. That night, Daniel thanked the old man. I feel different now, he said. Not excited, but steady. The old man nodded. That is real happiness, he replied. Before leaving, he said one last sentence. Remember, happiness is not loud. It is quiet, strong, and patient. And with that, he stood up and walked away. Daniel never saw him again. But the lesson stayed. Daniel's new life. Weeks passed. Life was not perfect. But Daniel was calmer. More aware. More patient. He smiled more naturally. Listened better. Reacted less. Happiness was no longer something he waited for. It became something he practiced every day. Message for you, listener. If you are listening right now, know this. You don't need to change your whole life to be happier. You only need to slow your breath, Quiet your comparisons. Accept reality. Choose calm responses. Practice daily gratitude. Happiness is a skill. And like every skill, you can learn it too. Final gentle reminder. Listen again. Practice slowly. Be kind to yourself. Because peace grows, not through force, but through understanding.